Did you know that St. Luke's University Health Network, based in the Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania, has been recognized by the U.S. government as the highest performing health system in the United States for quality? You heard right. St. Luke's #1 recognition affirms our status as the top leader among the most respected healthcare providers in the nation, including Houston Methodist and the Mayo Clinic. To state it simply, if you want to receive the best care when you go to a hospital, come to St. Luke's.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Taxi!
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
John Catsimatidis does an amazing job at this station and also hosts two great shows, 5 p.m. every weekday afternoon alongside Rita Cosby. It's the Cats and Cosby Show, and of course his masterpiece, 8 a.m. every Sunday morning, the Cats Round Table. John, I want to start here today. I had Trump on last Tuesday, and thanks to you, you came to me and said, ask him about this. So I did. Asked him about AM radio. He said, Sid, not on my radar right now, but it's important. So seemingly President Trump is going to fight for us. I know you and Chad have done a lot of work trying to save AM radio, and it came out a couple of days ago, Inside Radio, that WABC is the #1 AM station across the country. So congratulations, John.
Well, thanks. And what we want to do is, that's not enough for me. We want to be the #1 station in the world. And we are going to challenge the BBC. We're going to challenge even Voice of America with President Trump's approval. And we want the truth to get out. We don't want, anybody that's a Republican is welcome to come on WABC. Anybody that's a Democrat is welcome to come on WABC. And anybody that's an independent is welcome to come on WABC. We want all the voices, and we want the people, the European people, the American people, everybody to decide the truth. And the truth is, like in Iran, you can't trust the current Iranian regime with nuclear weapons. I mean, it's like my physics professor used to say, it's intuitively obvious. And even Xi, the Chinese, said, yes, you cannot trust the current regime with nuclear weapons. Yeah. They said it.
Well, but you can't trust Xi either because he's playing both sides here. He's supplying Iran with weapons, so you can't trust him. I know he said it, but to me that means nothing. When he says something, when Putin says something, I know Trump is doing the best he can to make a great deal, and I thought Trump was magnificent last week, but I don't trust Xi either. But you're right. There's no way we can allow that, and that's why I think either Wednesday or Thursday, John, we're going to start firing again in Iran.
Well, he's the president of the United States. He makes the decisions. And I know he talked to Netanyahu yesterday. And I'm sure they have a game plan. And, I'm sure they didn't talk about it on the telephone because even the secure telephones they don't trust.
That's true. You're right. You really can't. You can't. I mean, everything today seems like if they want it, they can get it. Telephone conversations, text messages. It's very hard to really, if they want it, they're going to find a way to get it.
The Chinese even loaned their satellites to Iran to see where the United States destroyers and
That's
where
right.
the United States aircraft carriers are.
That's right.
You can't trust. You know what happens? The Biden administration, those 4 years, trusted. And guess what? We were invaded, and the United States was invaded and hurt in so many ways. Whether it was the Chinese, whether it was the Iranians, whether it was the Russians, America was under attack. And any American citizen that doesn't realize that, well, guess what? You better get a reality check.
Shame on them. You're right. I tell you, this governor, too, can't trust her either. I mean, we've got this.
I'm very, very disappointed in her.
Oh, come on.
She has, we give everybody a chance, but I'm very, very disappointed because she could find all the money she wants, and the city could find all the money they want, and even Eric Adams found all the money they needed for the migrants. But when it comes down to the American citizens, they can't find it. Everything is fair in love and war, but it's a problem. And, I had Governor DeSantis on my radio show yesterday, and, he's governor until the end of the year. And then I think him and President Trump have made peace, and I think President Trump is going to offer him a cabinet position, and he may be eligible for 2028. He's done a wonderful job in Florida, and he is in New York today and tomorrow, and he's going to be speaking at the New York State Gala, the GOP Gala, and people are looking forward to hearing him because Florida, I guess 24 million people. I had Rick Scott on too, and he was governor of Florida for 8 years.
When I lived there, he was governor. Yeah.
And at one point, New York State had more residents than in Florida, and now Florida has 24 million people.
Of course.
And New York is down to 19.5 or something like that. Of
course.
And finally we all find out the reason for the Biden migration, because they count congressional seats in the Senate. They count dead people, and they count migrants and dead people. I mean,
of course.
Dead people is, Judicial Watch is doing a big job trying to eliminate all the dead people, et cetera, off the census, because the blue states are losing a lot of votes, a lot of voters, and they're moving. They're moving to Texas. They're moving to Florida, and and I was on Fox that time when Governor Hochul said, "Okay, all you people down in Florida, please move on back."
No, please. I was there. I was on the beach.
Laughed.
No, listen, I was on. You remember, John? I was on the beach in Fort Lauderdale that morning. I tweeted, "I'm going to start finding ex-New Yorkers on the beach." It's about a month ago, and asked them to come back. Why would they want to come back? All you have is a jihad mayor and a governor that wants to tax you up the ass. I'm sure they can't wait to come back. And it was snowing, by the way, in New York, and I was on the beach in Fort Lauderdale. It was 78 degrees. But look. You talked about the money for the illegals that she found. She also found a lot of money, billions of dollars, to give to her friend who she's scared to death of, the mayor of this city, Zoran Mamdani, so he can make his budget look better than it really, really is. And as you heard with me and Bruce Blakeman this morning, I had the exclusive with Bruce Blakeman early this morning, 6 o'clock hour. At the very least, Governor Hochul, at the very least, should pause the congestion pricing. If you're going to screw all those people on Long Island, stop blaming Trump. He has nothing to do with this. Okay, Kathy? You can find billions of dollars for illegals, for your buddy Mamdani. If you're going to screw all these fine people trying to get to work from Nassau and Suffolk County, the least you can do is pause that $9 congestion pricing, which is really a punishment for New Yorkers trying to work in this city.
They hurt. New York City was hurt so much more than people realize. There's a report out, and I think Steve Phillip has a copy of it from the New York City Partnership, that how much Manhattan has gotten hurt very, very badly on this congestion pricing. Stores have closed. The cost of delivering for vendors to deliver into Manhattan, they want a premium. So we got a problem. We got a problem. For whom did the bells toll? And they're not tolling for the average New Yorker right now. They want to raise real estate taxes down to the middle class. Forget about the rich. The middle class is going to get punished with these new taxes that want to go in. And I think that the Bruce Blakeman, Kathy Hochul governorship, I think is going to get tighter and tighter because people are going to reach the what do you call it in Brooklyn? The FU level. You know, I mean, how do you say enough is enough? I mean, there's too much. We're going to chase everybody out, and I don't want that. I hate to see New York City, New York State lose. I'm trying to talk common sense to everybody. And originally, when it was the 100-day rule, I said, well, let's do 150 days because everybody's still on the learning curve. But that 150 days is going to be coming up soon, and I am worried about the city. I'm worried about the state. And you know who's going to get hurt at the end of the day? The people who are going to get hurt at the end of the day are the New York State workers. There's 200,000 of them, the New York City workers, because if the rating agencies shoot down the bond ratings of the city and the state, then there's going to be layoffs. And the city workers and the state workers are going to get hurt. So everybody's going to get hurt. What we want is America first, American citizens first, and I think we put a stop to migration. Well,
they closed the border. They closed the border.
We closed the border,
right?
And in what's going to take November of 1980. November of 2026 is going to be a big decision on all American people on voting for common sense versus voting for more drug boats and more fentanyl coming in from Mexico.
Yep.
I mean, when we talk about America under attack, the Chinese could put an end to all the fentanyl coming in from Mexico in 5 minutes. 5 minutes, said, okay. President Trump put an end to all the drugs coming in from Venezuela by shooting down all those boats.
Yeah.
And why did the Democrats side with the boats coming in from Venezuela? I still don't understand that. Where is the common sense?
There is no common sense.
I know Cory Booker.
He's a moron. He's a moron.
In New Jersey.
He's a moron.
Why is he siding with the boats coming in from Venezuela?
Because
drugs to kill the American people.
Because it's whatever Trump wants, they go against it. Cory Booker's a moron. He's not a smart guy. Anybody who's willing to sacrifice the lives of our children here in America, or illegals walking down the street and putting a bullet in Sheridan Gorman's back, or throwing a Vietnam vet Richard Williams on a subway train because they hate Trump and they've decided that disagreeing with Trump is more important than American values and American lives. Those are not good people. Not having a bad day. They're scumbags, John. That's what they are. And that is about 99% of the Democrat Party. That's your bottom line.
Well, that is very, very sad, and the American people have to realize it's very sad. And you know what it's going to take? Just like 1984, that 49 states were lost.
That's right.
To the Republicans, to Ronald Reagan.
That's right.
Ronald Reagan won 49 states, and the 50th state he only lost by 18,000 votes.
That's right.
So at what point? I mean, that's the only way that common sense may come back to the Democratic Party. Otherwise, the Democratic Socialist Party has taken over the Democratic Party, and enough is enough. You need common sense, and God bless America. I mean, it's just, and I think Bruce Blakeman, I think he's going to start coming very close. I think the polls were going to reverse themselves, and because New York City, New Yorkers, whether you're voted, it's not about being a registered Democrat. It's being pro-New York and pro-common sense. I mean, enough is enough.
Agreed. Well, it's not all terrible news. The sun's shining today. Little J3 is walking. Had a nice dinner with AJ this weekend. You're back in the Hamptons. The weather's getting nice. So it's not all terrible news yet, John, but we certainly have a lot of work to do. And if anybody's up with that work, it's you and I.
This weekend is Memorial Day weekend?
I know.
When did it sneak up on us?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, it was such a long winter, John. All those massive snowstorms and ice cold weather. We need it. This was a gorgeous weekend, wasn't it, last weekend?
It was a gorgeous weekend, and the sun was shining on New York.
Yeah.
And I was walking through Central Park yesterday, and there must have been a zillion people in Central Park.
Yeah, yeah.
And the trees are green, and New York is the greatest place in the world. And I urge all New Yorkers, let's make sure we keep New York City and New York State the greatest country, greatest city, greatest state in the world. And all we have to do is just fight for New York.
That's it. Well said. Excellent, excellent appearance, John. Great way to start the week. I'll see you here later on today. Love you. Great job. Thank you so much.